Waterboarding, sexual assault and torture. The horrors meted out on patrons of Pretoria's Zanzou nightclub.
They're scared to talk. Most of them are scared to talk because they don't know their rights.
Treated like slaves and transported like cattle. What South African women suffer on some farms. A Delta plane crash lands in Toronto and flips over with 80 people on board. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton. From a very wet Gauteng, there's a severe weather alert for disruptive rainfall and wind for this province and most parts of the country.
This is Eyewitness News.
Now, the shocking depravity at the hands of Zanzou nightclub's bouncers, quickly going viral on social media. Now the city of Tshwane has called on the owners of the club to present themselves to the police following allegations of torturing patrons. Video shows bouncers at the club sexually and physically assaulting a group of young men. Police are investigating the incident and have launched a manhunt for 8 men believed to be involved.
We have not yet been exposed to the owners. The only people that we are speaking to are those that are just the runners and daily operators of this establishment. So we are calling for the real owners of Zanzou because we need this to be a Human Rights Commission incident.
The club is now under police surveillance after its management sent a truck to retrieve its stock and equipment.
No, we can't allow them leadership. We can't allow them because allowing them, it means they must take the alcohol, the stock that is remaining here, to take it somewhere else, to the nightclub, so that the business of the day, they can continue. While we are focusing on Zanzou, but there's nothing. Because when they take stock, there will be nothing here. So we're just wasting our time. The business of the men will continue as always.
Transported like cattle to work, treated like second-class citizens, working in a culture of patriarchal systems. These women, who play a vital role in feeding the country, are also some of the most vulnerable.
So our women, we are scared to talk. Most of them are scared to talk because they don't know their rights. So they keep quiet, they go on with the same stuff every year, every season. In these pesticides, they're killing us slowly because you pee in the vineyards. You walk with it, the grapes was spraying with pesticides with your hands. Afterwards, you're going to eat, there's no water to wash your hands. You're going to eat. Tonight, you're coming home, your clothes are smelling like pesticides, you're salting the ground.
While Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana prepares to present his budget speech tomorrow, these women want to hear what can be done to help them move up the food chain. Staying with the agricultural sector, Agricultural Minister John Steenhuisen has moved to counter what he says is a misinformation and distortion campaign being waged against him by Business Forum Sakaliga. Sakaliga CEO Piet Leroux says Steenhuisen is using agricultural levies to ramp up black economic empowerment in the sector.
Mr. Leroux is attempting to paint me as some BEE czar in order to drive Sakaliga's own membership and income through manufacturing outrage and sensationalism.
The unemployment rate has dropped to its lowest in a year. More than 132,000 new jobs were created in the fourth quarter. After breaking through 33% midway through the year, the official unemployment rate decreased twice consecutively to reach 31.9% at the end of the year.
But when we take those 8 million plus another 3.5 million people who said they were discouraged work seekers, as well as another 800,000 who didn't look for employment for other reasons other than discouragement, we are sitting at 12.3 million, which represents an expanded unemployment rate of 41.9%.
Unemployment is worse in the Northwest, while the Western Cape has the lowest unemployment rate. And out of the 11 Gauteng municipalities, only 2 were able to receive clean audits for the 2023-2024 financial year. They were the West Rand District Municipality and the Midvaal Municipality. This was the 11th financial year in a row Midvaal has received a clean audit, unlike others.
Putting municipality under administration, it's not the only way of helping a municipality. I think we need to make sure that we help the municipality to be functional, to be effective, and to be sustainable. And I think that's what we're trying to do, so that the interventions that we make are institutionalized. And they are not just, because when you dissolve a municipality, you basically dissolve the councils. The administration remains. And unless you say the only problem is the councillors, then you can then talk about dissolution. So at this point, there are a number of challenges which we have dealt with as well previously, and some of those challenges are historic. They are structural and systematic, so they don't need an easy way out. But we are concerned about the state of the Mfuleni municipality, and we must work together with SALGA, with COPTA, and with the municipality itself to make sure that we take it out of the situation it finds itself.
Teaching and learning at Tsebentla Primary School in Hammanskraal, north of Pretoria, has been disrupted for an 8th consecutive day. At the heart of the prolonged shutdown, damaged infrastructure, claims of sabotage and a bitter power struggle among parents. Some parents argue the situation is made worse by demands to pay registration fees, purchase stationery and cover other expenses despite the school's no-fee status.
A school once filled with the hum of children's voices now stands in silence, its classrooms empty, its future uncertain. For many parents here, it's an impossible choice: send their children back to school amid uncertainty or keep them home and watch their education slip away. Perched just 5 minutes from the northwest Gauteng border, Tsebentla Primary School carries the weight of educating hundreds of children in the area. But for over 3 weeks, classrooms have been empty, locked in a battle of infighting and allegations of financial mismanagement. Today brought a glimmer of hope. After 3 weeks of fear and frustration, the Education Department stood before parents, promising a way forward. School doors reopening tomorrow with police stationed to ensure order. A suspended school governing body, a principal under suspicion, and rumors of financial perversion continue to hang heavy over this community. Mongi Zikoko, Eyewitness News, Hammanskraal.
The Gauteng Education Department says school will reopen tomorrow with police stationed there. We're witnessing the biggest spike in rhino poaching since COVID-19. 35 rhinos have been poached in the Kruger National Park this year alone. That's despite interventions such as dehorning to deter poachers. SANParks management says the transnational syndicates targeting the animals are relentless in their pursuit of rhino horn.
And even though we've had a huge effort in dehorning our rhino within Kruger National Park and then even in KZN Wildlife, clearly there's a switch to where are the rhino, there's still a value, we're going to hunt them regardless. And there's clearly a market for it.
A rhino was shot by poachers near the Skukuza camp in Kruger National Park on Saturday morning.
A guest called and said he had shots. The crew that was on patrol, they responded within an hour. They couldn't find anything. And on Sunday, they got reports that there were vultures, and they came to investigate, and this is what they found.
The Department of Health in KZN says it advises the education sector to keep schools open despite a rising number of learners who've been diagnosed with hand, foot and mouth disease. The disease is a viral infection, mostly in children who exhibit flu-like symptoms, have blisters and swollen hands. A Delta Airlines jet with 80 people on board crash-landed Monday at Toronto, Canada's main airport. It flipped upside down and left at least 18 people injured with no fatalities. Dramatic images on local broadcasts and shared on social media show people stumbling away from the upside-down CRJ 900 plane, shielding their faces from strong gusts of wind and snow. No explanation of the cause of the accident or how the plane ended up flipped has been provided.
This is an active investigation. It's very early on. It's really important that we do not speculate. What we can say is the runway was dry and there was no crosswind conditions. We also want to give an update. We can now confirm that 18 injured passengers have been transported to the local area hospitals. We had one additional passenger recently transported to a hospital.
And from South Africa to the Netherlands, the Requiem for the Impossible, an interactive music project based on a true story of the disappearance of 3 South African sailors in the Indian Ocean. This year marks 11 years since the tragedy. It's just been playing in Cape Town. We'll tell you when it makes it back to South Africa.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.